If I ever want to kick the tires with an SEO campaign just to kind of see how well it's doing, what I'll do is ask these kind of three key areas of the agency, of the business, and it usually tells me everything I need to know before going into more granular SEO work and auditing. So the first thing I look at is splitting up the organic performance, which include branded keywords and non-branded keywords. So branded keywords is basically a symptom or a collection of figures relating to the wider marketing piece. So things like email marketing, social media, the full marketing complex drives branded keywords because you're introducing people to the brand. SEO work contributes to branded, but they can't take all the credit. In the same breath, PPC can't either. So when you come to branded keywords, it's typically a collection of marketing, how well it's kind of performing, but it's good to keep a snapshot on branded keywords. Sometimes you might see brands growing, sometimes you see brands going down. It's usually an indicator of how effective marketing is in general. I know a lot of businesses don't like hearing brand awareness because it's very much intangible, but if you strip out branded keywords, it can give you that progression over time, how it's looking. Flip that round to where I'm really interested is the non-branded keywords. These are people who are looking for a product, service, or some kind of solution, and don't know who you are from a branded perspective. So you're using these keywords to introduce them to the brand, and this is where you get the new customers from traditionally as well. So looking for things over two spectrums is how are they growing? So the keywords collectively, impressions, clicks, positioning, where they're currently set at. But also more importantly, I'm looking at the quality of the non-branded keywords. So one of the things I see from a site which isn't really relevant and it's just kind of gone through the motions of churning out content is there'll be hundreds and thousands of keywords in there which just basically aren't relevant to the business, but like somebody's name, completely irrelevant to the service they offer or to the products that they sell as well. So non-branded keywords, progression, and then also relevancy of them non-branded keywords. Option two is seasonally adapted and married metrics. Okay, so what that basically means is twofold. When you do year-on-year comparisons, making sure that the bank holiday alignments are correct. So if you have 2 bank holidays or 3 in May this year, how many did you have last year, and so on. And also when you do a comparison of May from the 1st to the end of May, is making sure that the first of the month, say it was a Monday, for example, is compared against a Monday from the previous year, and obviously Friday to Friday at the end of the year. So it might be a case that you're actually comparing the back end of April and the last day of May versus this month, which might be full of May, but you're marrying them dates up. So that's really important. Seasonality adapted. So one of the things that I see a lot of with SEO reporting is to look at it from a macro level. So what you could say is organic traffic's up by 40%, revenue's up by 60%, but actually what's happening is rankings haven't changed much. It's just more people are searching for the key term, or branded keywords now performing much better, for example. So there's loads of spinning plates within the keyword composition from a campaign. And what you're looking for really is a report, which is something I've built kind of from scratch, takes all of the keywords, compares progression of them keywords, and it groups them together. So what I look for is position. So ranking position hasn't changed. If impressions have gone up, seasonality. If impressions have gone down, seasonality. If impressions have increased and decreased and the position's gone up, then we can tell that to SEO. So when you look at keywords which have actually gone up in visibility and equaled improved performance, that's the ones that you can kind of take credit for and an idea of progression with SEO. Keywords which have maintained the same position, unless obviously it's number one, that is kind of success to some degree, but seasonality can really morph the figures, and there's not many SEOs I know who can effectively skim through the SEO seasonality side as well. So marketing could be doing a really good job of driving brand, but actually what's driving the growth is that work, branded keywords, and it's not non-branded, and SEO can't really take the credit for that. So that's one thing I do is I've got a dedicated dashboard that I use where it'll hook into Search Console, split out brand and non-brand, but then I've also got like a lot of parameters. So for example, if a keyword stays in the same position year on year and impressions have gone up, I'll camp that as seasonality increases and decreases, stagnation. Another thing I look at as well, if you've got static positioning, click-through rate's gone up or down, it's usually competition's more effective. Page titles, meta descriptions, PPC ads are now kind of encroaching performance. So it's a really kind of dynamic picture, and it takes a lot to get your head around. So if you're just relying on a report every month that says traffic's up 40%, revenue's up 60%, what that pitch is, what's driving that growth, you may never know, and it's really important to understand what's going on there. Number three is pounds and pence, so sales composition. Looking in particular at like what products are being sold. So an analogy I would use is if you were a watch salesperson, luxury watches, and engage with an SEO agency, and sales are up by 20%, and we look at what's being sold, you might have ranked really well for things like watch batteries, watch straps, and sales are growth in low margin areas. So I always look at product composition year on year. So if we sell X amount of Rolex watches in May last year, and this year we're currently on 10% up, and we can tether that to the non-branded keywords and seasonality adapted performance, then that's usually success. So composition is a really good one. Margin is really good as well. So anybody can sell anything for nothing. So whether there's like a high reliance on discount codes, which is drawing the click and commercial performance and things like that as well. So margin erosion / GP is what I look at as well on the same products. You know, if we're growing disproportionately or revenue's stagnant but GP's higher, then that's just as favourable, I guess, to some degree, as long as new customer recruitment's good as well. Another thing that I look at is behavioural changes, which is part of the sales composition. So the sales time lag. So how many people make a decision there and then, and also how many people make a decision from 1 to 90-day mark. The reason I look at that for is SEO's work should be barrier breaking to some degree and salesmanship. So one thing I'll particularly look for is engaging with sales staff. As many frequently asked questions you get asked on the phone, trying to incorporate in the website, build as much confidence as you can, reviews, basic extrapolating out that confidence. So I'm always constantly trying to bring this time lag down as well to get people buying there and then. Do some creative stuff as well. So example, if someone's searching for your brand discount codes, for example, is creating like a dedicated discount page where you don't lose a margin to affiliates, and as part of the buying cycle, and what you would lose in affiliates, so say 10% commission, you can offer a 5% discount on this page, and obviously just monitor progress and things like that as well. So that's the three key areas. So split between branded and non-branded, look at seasonality adapted performance, and also with married dates, ensuring that you get a good like-for-like picture, and also there's no kind of hidden growth spurts in there between brand or seasonality and things like that as well. And then the last one is sales composition, getting under the skin of performance. Once I get these three together, I can pretty well see what's been going on. So whether the previous agencies might have been riding a wave of seasonality, or they've actually grafted really hard, done a really good job, and actually just been hit with, if you get really good growth around sales, so rankings, and fewer people are searching now, what that could basically entail. The SEO has done a good job, but we've just been hit with seasonality. So really important to spend a bit of time on these metrics, and you just basically create a dashboard which can showcase all this via Search Console. It's something that took us probably a few days to build, and it's really effective, and it gives us a really good position of where they currently stand as a website and business as well. So that's three things I'd like to try and fetch out for any SEO campaign, and I'd encourage everyone to make steps to try and get their head wrapped around this data as well, albeit the seasonality and my seasonality adapted keywords is something I've built bespokely to me, but you might need to find another solution. But it's something I would definitely try and encompass into your reporting around SEO progress.